Hey there, everybody. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Afefe with Touch by Tarot and Beyond. I'm a certified tarot reader, and I am also a former newspaper journalist. And I'm an initiated priestess in both pagan and African traditions. So, and I say that, I know many of you who return to the channel, I do that at the beginning because I do get new people that come in, and it helps inform them, like, what's my deal? How am I going to approach the reading? So, thank you for being here, man. I don't know how you feeling today, but today I have my coffee. I'm taping this really early on Wednesday morning. I have my coffee, but like I'm already geeked up before I even drink it. We needed this, these recent developments that we see unfolding. We needed this so bad, right? Okay, couple of things. What is it? 5051. 50501 is what today is being called. Today, February 5th, we've got 50 protests in 50 states for one day. Let's see. I cannot wait to see how that develops today. You all, I know how we're feeling about mainstream media. Lord knows they have disappointed us left, right, and center. But I saw this morning that MSNBC's, that's about the only one we had that was kind of trying, sort of, with Rachel Maddow, Lawrence O'Donnell, Joy Reid, and some others who have consistently, even now, been saying, Joy Reid has been coming right out and saying, this is a coup. This is a coup. You're not seeing that, and on many of mainstream media, they're being very pressured to be careful about how they cover him because of F45. He will be F45 today. Or I saw yesterday, I was like, oh, I'm going to use that. The term Trusk. TR-USK, like a combination of their names. Trusk is starting to get used, so might slip that in there a little bit. But bottom line is, they're saying MSNBC's ratings are up 86%, you all, since that dip and the disappointment behind the election. And from what I'm seeing, there are, many of their leading faces and personalities are truly trying to continue to speak truth to power. So I'd say maybe try to cut them some slack. And I'm saying that as well because we need as many news outlets to show us what is happening around the country. I didn't even know about this 50501 until, digging in on social media, Blue Sky, Threads, like so many of us, we're having to work so much harder to get the real information out there. But hey, that's what we got to do. We got to do. Quickly, many of you have already heard, but in case you have not, please do yourself a favor and watch. It is long, 90 minutes. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, we call her, did an Instagram live, I think it was day before yesterday. And man, did she lay out. She just laid it all out in perfect pitch, tone, logistics, everything to help people understand what exactly is happening and offering some solid suggestions about how we can get involved. And the thing that really struck so many people was the idea we outnumber them. The numbers matter. And so don't lay down, don't consent. So recommend you go watch that. I don't think I have ever sat and watched a 90-minute Instagram live. I'm doing good to get through a 90-minute movie, right? But I watched it from start to finish and it was absolutely worth it. I highly encourage that for you all. And can we talk about our girl Jasmine Crockett got up there on live and in effect yesterday and called bullshit. Said it. And nobody was mad. They were like, that's exactly what's happening right now outside of the Treasury. So let's see what happens today with these protests, you all. Lawsuits being filed left, right, and center. I have the cover pages from 3 of them that caught my eye because I was really interested to see who was who was doing the suing and who's being sued. And it's an interesting thing happening. So OPM, Office of Personnel Management, the ones who caved and opened the door, we understand why. We understand, we've heard from the FBI, many FBI officials, retired and otherwise, what really happened and the pressure that they were under. But the bottom line is they are now being sued because they did open those doors and give Musk and his Muskrat's goons access to those servers, right? So that's against them. We've got the Allied Alliance for Retired Americans, American Federation of Government Employees over this memo, the Fork in the Road memo, etc. Unions, AFL-CIO, suing Scott Bessent, the new Treasury, Secretary of the Treasury, already named in a lawsuit. We've got the Department of the Treasury, of course. Just on and on and on it goes. And we do have, at least in one of them that I found, F45 himself has been named as a defendant, as has Charles Ezell, acting director of OPM, who caved. So the bottom line, you all, these lawsuits are so all encompassing, and they are naming names. There is going to be such a scramble for these different entities and individuals to get to obtain counsel to fight this. I want to look at two things today. One, to narrow it down, because I'm so fired up. I could get on here today and like there's so many things. Oh, quickly, I'm not going to look at it because I know it's going to go on for a while and we'll go back to it. This Gaza situation, right? Knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. It was all about a land grab all along. And to see Netanyahu sitting up there in the White House yesterday with F45 with that little smirk on his face the whole time. So, truth wears out. We have been hearing from Spirit, from myself and many other readers. There is so, don't give up hope, because things are going to be revealed. We will see it for what it is. And the truth of what's been on the back burner for a long time. Why is Israel continuing to bomb Gaza down to the studs? Because in order to they were going to go in there and take it. And now you've got F45 came straight out his mouth and said, yeah, we're going to go take it over, turn it into some resort or whatever, a resort town, because of that access to the sea. Saudi Arabian Crown Prince, the same one who gave Jared Kushner that, $2 billion? Yeah, he's already come out and said, it ain't happening. What's his name? Mohammed bin Salam. He came out and said, you are not going to displace the Palestinian people. We're not going to sit back and go along with that. So, not going to read on that today, other than I think we know the tone. This is another, this was the game plan all along. Many of the MAGAs are waking up, and even those who didn't consider themselves MAGA but who voted for F45 are also like in horror right now, because they're realizing none of this is what you promised us, and none of this has anything to do with why we voted for you, right? Okay. I could go on and on. Panama. Don't believe everything we see with Panama. Yeah, did Panama appear to bend the knee? Yes, they did. But watch what China does. The Spirit is telling me China's going to come back with maybe a sweeter deal, or something like this was about while Rubio was there and they were face to face, and something had to be done and said to delay whatever other actions the U.S. was going to take. Panama did what they needed to do. This is chess. This is not checkers, y'all. So I don't know. It looked like Panama caved, but I'm not so sure. We'll see what happens. More on that as well. Today, finally, I want to get to, will Elon Musk be directly sued and or arrested for illegally getting those servers? And will his goons, who have been identified and named, he was trying to hide them, they have been identified and named, all of them under 26. What is it, 19? The youngest one, I think, 19 to 26, or under 26. And when you read their bios, I found an article yesterday where it outlined pictures and bios of all of them. And they are all that far right, or came from extreme wealth. Daddy bought them their degrees at Harvard or whatever. But will they face charges? That's what I'm going to look at. Are they going to face charges? I want to look at Elon, and then I want to look at these young people. Ten of Swords. Ooh, they're not. The young ones are scared, because they didn't even understand. They drank so much of of Elon's Kool-Aid that they didn't even understand the extent to which they could actually be criminally liable for what they were doing. And they're counting, these are such privileged kids, they're counting on the money and daddy and others to get them out of trouble. They're operating in a different reality. Queen of Pentacles. That has come up before, and you all have told me in the comments, there was somebody, Queen of Pentacles. Is this Pam Bondi? Let's not even get started. But okay. Attorney General, Pam Bondi. And the Three of Wands. You know, this is going to come to... Will Pam Bondi wind up having to get involved in bringing charges? Or be pressured to bring charges? Ace of Swords. Ooh, she's going to squirm. Because she knows what her directive is. And yeah, there's already been some talk that she said she was not in agreement with the pardoning of the violent Jan 6ers, right? She's come out and said that, in contrast to. So I don't know, is Pam Bondi, because she's gonna have to get involved now that she is, in fact, and the Two of Cups. This is her and someone who she's gonna turn to work with her. Keep your eye on that, you all. Spirit is saying Pam Bondi is going to be under intense pressure to address this situation. But I also am getting, Spirit, are the states going to file lawsuits and or arrest Elon Musk? We have the Hangman. They're considering what their options are. Because to the extent that, yes, this happened in D.C., Department of the Treasury, but to the extent that that the information that was stolen and improperly perhaps going to be used then impacts people in the various states, can those attorney generals and or governors begin to implement legal procedures against Musk and his goons? That's what some people are already calling for, and some legal experts have already been talking about. Page of Swords. Conversations are being had. How do we approach this? And judgment. Keep your eye out for it, you all. Page of Swords. And look, I love that it's even an image of this young being, you know, almost it's sitting there with that laptop. This is all very descriptive of what's happening. Hangman, they're trying to figure out, assessing it. How do we do this? Because everything we know with lawsuits, you've got to be able to, you know, document bit by bit. You need case precedent. I noticed in some of these cases that were filed yesterday, I glanced at a few of them. Case law out the wazoo. Here is why. Courts and judges uphold precedent. They will take something, an existing lawsuit, and compare it to what has been done or what the Constitution or what federal laws have said holds, and then they make their ruling very often based on that. And we have the Judgment card, you all. I don't see justice, which I wish that I did. I'm going to pull a few more. Elon Musk and his goons facing consequences, perhaps even being jailed, or at least arrested. They won't be jailed. The Lovers. Don't count it out. The Lovers is a choice that must be made in the context of a political reading. It is a choice that must be made. It is a decision about what is in the best interest of the country and what upholds the rule of law. Because it is about a union. It is about a divine union. And we think about that in a political context. The union and strength. You all. Musk and his goons, not only did they break the law, but now that we're starting to see some momentum around this, with these protests, with these lawsuits, with things that we're not going to see it from the GOP in Congress. Unfortunately, I saw a piece, not sure to the for entertainment purposes only, gotta say that. I'm not sure, you know, none of us really knows the extent to which it is or is not true, although I think it's believable. But to the extent, so many of us have just been absolutely aghast at the way that the GOP in Congress has laid down for F45, they've been under threat. Their families have been receiving threats, like you do this or else. So it wasn't just about Musk coming out and threatening them around, if you don't do what we say, I will primary you. I will personally finance and primary you and get you out, and you'll lose your spot. But it's also that they've been supposedly been receiving threats. All right, so against their family. So we're going to see what happens with that. All right, you all. I think keep your eyes open. Oh, they're telling me look at the protests today. Thank you, Spirit. Because this builds momentum. Right now we collectively have been like, where are the Democrats? And stop with the little 2-minute, speeches, like do something. And we saw something being done, but I'm also getting that Democratic leaders and even non-Democrats, those who are independents, whatever. But if you are against allowing this country to be turned over and become, the fascists and the oligarchs, that there's they need us. And that's one reason I thought that AOC's that 90-minute Instagram live I was mentioning, that's why it was so important and pivotal, because she was stressing this need for, on the one hand, yes, you have your political leaders and we are ready to start, it's going to happen. We're going to speak out. We see it happening, but we need you. It works together, hand in hand. Spirit, is there a grassroots effort now that is truly going to take hold to resist? Is there a resistance that is truly going to take hold? 9 of Cups, an outpouring, and the Magician. Why not? Thank you, Spirit. And 2 just came, and the Ace of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles. A slow and steady build, coalitions, organizations. There is, I wanted to mention to you all in my, where did I know I wrote it down? I saw a piece on a new organization, Justice Connection. Look that up, some of you as well. This is a new group that's been formed by a Stacey Young. She is an 18-year veteran with the Justice Department, and she is one of those who recently resigned, when the new quote-unquote administration took over. But Stacey Young, it's called Justice Connection. And so this is a new organization that's been formed, again, by some of these federal workers who are either being pushed out or resigned. Again, she's a litigator, 18-year veteran with the Department of Justice. And she's forming this new organization, or has formed, called Justice Connection, to help federal workers in particular understand what's happening, understand their rights, coalesce around what kinds of things to do. So there are organizations that are forming, that are on the ground, and we got that 9 of Cups, the Magician, 7 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. Look at that in regards to this resistance that is twofold. And this is a dynamic. Spirit is saying too, before I wrap up here, this is a very interesting dynamic, because this very often when we see movements and protest movements in general, like think about the Black Lives Matter and civil rights movements even, it is grassroots. It is the people. It is nonprofits. It is churches. It is organizations on the ground level, right? But this movement, Spirit is saying, is going to be different in terms of it is a coalition between elected leaders and the people coming together. Very, very interesting. Very dynamic. Ace of Cups, y'all. Magician, making it happen, creating it, using all available resources to create it, to create an outcome. 9 of Cups, what the people really desire. We, the people, really desire. And the 7 of Pentacles, the long slog. It is going to be work, especially because so much of this is going to get worked out in the courts. But I think the courts are going to hold, you all. I think the courts are going to hold. That's what I'm getting. The High Priestess. So many more things are going to come to light. More people are going to be named. And remember, the High Priestess is, I said earlier, this is chess. It's not checkers. The High Priestess doesn't show her hand. She's a master of secrets and not bringing things out until the time is right. We've been hearing so much about why are we going through this and divine timing. There is divine timing at play here, and I just pulled Judgment again. to clarify that, High Priestess. Pluto, transformation, awakening. This is awakening. Like, all of this was very real. The threats were real. Project 2025 was more than a project. It was an edict. It was a blueprint. It is a blueprint. But I'm hearing Spirit is saying, okay, so watch Project 2026 being authored by a different set of people, right? All right, y'all. That's it. That's what I got for today. I hope you are energized. I certainly am. Be safe out here. We all have to be. And I'll check back in with you probably on today's Wednesday morning. I'll check back in with you probably by Friday. All right. Take it easy. Remember, chin up, shoulders back. Do a little fist pump if you need to right now. Call BS for what BS is. Build the resistance, and by all means, find your way of participating, whether it's just saying your prayers for the safety of all of those who are on the front lines and speaking out, whether it's getting involved with organizations, taking it upon yourself to find the news, find what's valid, find what truth is, find outlets that are giving us the real news, and just staying involved that way. All right. Take good care. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.